Shalom. I'm gonna give all the glory and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Wakah, Quadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the whole full elect, which are the remnant of the Israelites, Israelite foreigners that don't look like us, but they are us. Shalom. All right, now I'm gonna start off in Luke chapter 8. Luke chapter 8. I'm gonna start at verse 4 inside of the NLT. All right, so Luke chapter 8, verse 4 in the NLT. One day, Yahweh Shai told a story in the form of a parable to a large crowd that had gathered from many towns to hear him. All right, now verse 5, this is basically what you're about to go into right here. It's the parable. A farmer went out to plant his seed. As he scattered it across his field, some seeds fell on a footpath where it was stepped on and the birds ate. Other seeds fell among rocks. It began to grow, but the plant soon wilted and died for lack of moisture. Other seeds fell among thorns that grew up with it and choked out the tender plants. Verse 8. Still, other seeds fell on fertile soil. This seed grew and produced a crop that was 100 times as much as has been planted. When he had said this, he called out, anyone with ears to hear should listen and understand. That's the parable the Lord went into, all right? About the seeds and where they was tossed at and the outcome of where they was tossed. All right, now verse 9. His disciples asked him what this parable meant. Basically, in other words, what this metaphor meant, because the Lord loves speaking in metaphors. That's what basically a parable is. It's a metaphor. It's all for newcomers that didn't know. All right, verse 10. He replied, you are permitted to understand the secrets of the kingdom of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Or of Yahweh, okay, because this is Yahweh Shai speaking. All right, so basically when we say the secrets basically is parables. In other words, his mysteries. Understood, it was meant for us to understand his metaphors. Because think about it. Certain rap songs people hear. You hear a person say a bar or something like that, you be like, damn, that makes sense. But the other person like, huh? That's because they understand the metaphor. That's why the Lord likes speaking in metaphors and parables, basically, because it's only meant for specific people to understand. You have certain type of wisdom to understand. All right, but let me keep reading though. I'm gonna read 10 over. He replied, you are permitted to understand the secrets of the kingdom of Yahweh. But I use parables to teach the others so that scriptures might be fulfilled. When they look, they won't really see. When they hear, they won't understand. Because there's certain people out here that's not meant to understand. All right? That's how the Lord ordained it at the end of the day. Because he only wants specific people to understand. The only specific people that's going to understand is the elect. The ones that were chosen to be saved at the end of the days. All right, verse 11. This is the meaning of the parable. The seed is God's word. So the seed is Yahweh's word. The seed that fell on the footpath represent those who hear the message, only to have the devil come and take it away from their hearts and prevent them from believing, being saved. In other words, it's like, say for example, you come to the truth, you hearing certain stuff. You might hear something that you don't like or you don't want to agree with. That's when Satan could easily come in and deceive you and bring you somewhere else that sounds pleasing to you. Because a lot of people fail to realize everything that you hear is truth. You ain't gonna want to hear it, but it is what it is. That's why a lot of people say the truth hurts, but it sets you free. A lot of people can't handle the pain and the simple fact that all this shit has to go down because of certain things that had to happen. But it is what it is. But that's just another example of when the devil comes, because you're going for how you feel, your personal thoughts, not about what you think. Just maintain fear of the Lord, you'll get it. Verse 13. The seeds on the rocky soil represent those who hear the message and receive it with joy. But since they don't have deep roots, they believe for a while, then they fall away when they face temptation. All right, so these are the ones that basically, like, they hear the word, they're like, yeah, that's what's up. But soon when some bullshit happens, it's like, I can't deal with this, I can't handle this because this is that blase. Because the simple fact is, they thought this shit was peaches and creams. Nah, work of the Lord ain't easy. And he said, when you come serve him, prepare yourself for temptation. Go read, matter of fact, I might just go ahead and grab that real quick. Go to the KJV though. What's that? That's Sirach chapter 2. Yep, Sirach chapter 2, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 2. I'm going to read from 1 all the way down to 3. My son, if you come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make no haste in the time of trouble. Cleave to him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at the last end. Right there, the ones that was on the rock, they weren't preparing themselves for temptation. They just assumed everything was going to be good because they know who the Lord is. They come to serve the Lord. Like, nah, you're supposed to prepare yourself for temptation. So the ones that didn't prepare for temptation, them the ones that basically was on that rock. They didn't prepare this. Like verse 14. The seed that fell among the thorns represent those who hear the message, but all too quickly the message is crowded out by the cares and riches and pleasures of this life, and so they never grow into maturity. So basically, these are the ones that they know the truth, but that was in the truth, but they got all caught up in shit in the world. They all worrying about their jobs, worrying about their girl, worrying about how their kids feel, worrying about how everybody else feel about them, and all that type of crazy ass, dumb ass shit when it's irrelevant, for real. And them type of things get you caught up, and it prevents you from learning and growing because you need leisure time to get wisdom. Matter of fact, I got to grab that too. That's hey, come on. Ecclesiasticus. Oh, give me a minute. Ecclesiasticus. Was it 32? No. All right. This is Ecclesiasticus 38:24. The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that has little business shall become wise. So basically, if the ones that was with these thorns, that slop. Let me go back. Yeah, all right. So the ones basically that was in the thorns was the ones that he said that that fell off because of cares of the world, basically, and they didn't create more leisure for themselves. And that's the thing. When you're in this truth, once you realize what's really going on, you got to create more leisure towards you to learn and grow, so you can be rooted. That's the whole point of us growing in, so our roots can stay firmly to the ground, just like that palm tree. I remember some years back, a brother, I can't remember the brother, man, but he did a video on us to be like a palm tree. That's how we need to be. Go look up a palm tree, see how deep their roots is, and think about when all them damn weather, when hurricanes and shit come, all they do is just lay down and get right back up. They don't get unrooted. That's how we need to be. And I wanted to thank that brother too for doing that video, man. I can't even remember, but man, I never known that about palm trees. But shit, we need to be rooted like some palm trees. All right, but let me get back though. 15. And the seeds that fell on the good soil represents honest, good-hearted people who heard Yahweh's word, cling to it, and patiently produced a huge harvest. And now think about it for real. A lot of people do got fruits out here, as you can see. But also there are people that are corrupted fruits. Certain fruits that grew and started going bad a little bit. And it's a lot of camps and a lot of brothers, sincerely, not sincerely, but it's a lot of camps and a lot of brothers that know what's going on. It basically is a corrupted fruit. You gotta pay attention to that also. I'm gonna go to Matthew 7 real fast. I'm gonna close out in there. What was it? Yeah. All right. So basically, in order for you to actually understand about these fruits and you peep which fruit is good, which fruit is bad, just ask the Lord to give you the strength to basically pray to the Lord to ask Him to give you the eyesight, the sight to see who's real and who's not. All right. But let me read Matthew 7, verse 15. Beware of false prophets who come disguised as harmless sheep, but are really vicious wolves. Oh yeah, I'm in the NLT also. Matthew 7, NLT, verse 15. 16 now. You can identify them by the fruit. That is by the way they act. Can you pick grapes from thorn bushes, or figs from thistles? No, because they two different fucking things. A good tree produces good fruit, and a bad tree produces bad fruit. So all we gotta do is just sit back and analyze and see basically who sincerely has fear of the Lord. For real. You can tell easily who really got fear of the Lord and who don't. If you got the ass out. I don't want to say easily, because it ain't easy for everybody. Verse 18. A good tree can't produce bad fruit, and a bad tree can't produce good fruit. So all you gotta do is keep your eyes open to see what type of fruit you're dealing with at the end of the day. So every tree that does not produce good fruit is chopped down and thrown into the fire. Yes, just as you can identify a tree by its fruit, so you can identify people by their actions. So observe, just keep your eyes open and observe, and you will know exactly. I'm just leave it at that though. I ain't had to get too much about it. You'll know. You basically, the point of this whole lesson was observe who you listening to, and another way how to observe the person you listen to, look at the type of people that person produced and the type of people that's underneath of them. All right. Basically, in other words, look at the leader and look at all the followers. Then you'll have a glimpse on if that person is sincere or if they're not, or if they had a feel, or if they don't. Okay. That's basically it. So hopefully that was edifying, straight to the point. I want to give all the glory and praise to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakah Kodash, double also the apostle and elders, great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect, which are the remnant of the Israelites, is like foreigners that don't like us, but they are us. Shalom. Also, too, I want to give double honors to the bishops too. Also, I know I be forgetting that sometimes, but sincerely, I know y'all understand. I'm still learning too. At the end of the day, I still got a lot I need to be learning. So I'm growing just like everybody else growing. All right. So shit. Shalom.